What could possibly go wrong?
That could possibly go wrong. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bubsy Purrfect collection. It's another one of these where we have to talk about the failures of Limited One games, quality assurance being absolute dog shit. But so I got information this morning, that the Genesis version of Bubsy 2 doesn't work. Now, I don't know if this is every single version of the game. As you saw, this was the PS5's version, and yeah, it affects it. So there was no getting past that. And it's a shame, because I have a love-hate relationship with Bubsy. Now, I know Bubsy has a notorious reputation of being greatly hated. And I will tell you that I have no fond memories of the third game. I have memories of it. They're not fond. I have memories of actually having fun with Bubsy 2. Though, to be fair, I played that when I was a kid. I have not gotten to retry it. And I grew up with a Genesis, not a Super Nintendo. To play Super Nintendo, I had to go to a friend's house. So I actually played the Genesis version of Bubsy 2. So that's a little bit of fucking shame, though. From what I understand, the Super Nintendo versions are considered better in the Bubsy's case, from what I recall, though. So not necessarily the end of the world, but it is kind of shitty because there are people who prefer the tones and tunes, and sometimes the difference is that come with different console versions sometimes. So it is pretty shitty for those who want to solely do the Genesis version of Bubsy 2 that this collection is broken. I would imagine they will likely put out an update that can fix this probably, but that doesn't, cleanse the main problem here. This is supposed to be a physical product that's supposed to be preserving these games without the need of the internet. And Limited One Games has continuously acted like an 8-year-old crying to mommy every time they make a bad build of something, because they didn't either wait for updates or tests or Q&A or any fucking shit related to it. Now, it's no secret over the years to any of us that QA testing has been in the fucking shitter for a long time, since like the PS3 era. Like, quality assurance has been an ever lower priority every generation, and going like on in time and that. And it's obviously pretty annoying. But how can you not even do a basic boot up and see if it at least boots up? That's just wow. Like, is there anyone who even tests any of these at Limited One games? Like, I get some of these things sometimes can be a little bit obscure or really far in the game, but like, you can't even fucking boot up the game to see if it fucking works? Like, fuck. Now, for those not familiar with Limited One, it was founded by two people of a little company, and they were Josh and Doug. Doug left, and Josh is leaving either soon or away. He announced he's going to be leaving. So the two founders of this company will be gone, and there has been a lot of up in the air on whether this will be good or bad. There's a lot of bad information about Josh. Doug dumped a lot of stuff, and several other people have supposedly dug up stuff on it. Now, I'm not going to say whether they're true or not, because they're accusations. Especially one video, like, Doug himself is, in his situation, it's, he said, they said, they said, he said, like, it's two people with no real, like, hard evidence to really deny or prove either one's case, hard definitively over each other's words. And then there was a particular video of someone who did a lot of interviews, but private interviews. In other words, there's no actual, this is who said this and stuff and that. Like, so we have to take them on their word that this stuff was truthful. And again, those people's, they said, he said. Now, I don't necessarily think Josh is the most fantastic person. He's certainly changed a lot. Like, when Limited One games first started, like, they were pretty humble and really willing to interact with people. Josh is just closed out of fucking everything and seems like to have no passion from my perspective. But either way, he's leaving the company, and personally, I'm hoping it leads to better things, hopefully. But it's tough to say. Now, in regards of the Bubsy Purrfect collection, of course, the question is, will they reprint these? Will they fix these? Will we get refunded? What will they do? Because Limited One Games does not have a long track record of fixing broken releases. Doom's gotten fixed. One shmup game from a long time ago, I got a fixed copy of, though that was very under the table. That didn't really get very publicly announced, so I don't think a lot of people got that. I don't think. And that was because it was supposed to have a unique DLC on its physical build, which didn't have it. But the Doom collection was one of the few times they actually reprinted, fixed something. But there were several games that, depending on your personal subjective thoughts, could be a big deal and maybe not as big of a deal. But the point still stands that there have been a lot of weird Q&A quality things that don't feel like they're being done. And, people pay money for this shit. This shit costs money. And, some people might be like, well, if you bought Bubsy, you probably deserved this kind of thing. I mean, there is kind of a weird fucking irony in the fact that Bubsy goes, what could possibly go wrong, as the screen just crashes to a black screen. There is some irony in that, to be fair. But, the point still stands. Money was paid for a physical product to be in a decent working condition here and there. I get these are old games. Emulation is not easy to perfect on a modern console. Sometimes there can be slight imperfections, but this is just not acceptable at all. This is just low-downly stupid. All of these, I do believe, Limited One games should owe people who want a proper physical release a reprint in these cases of a broken game that cannot be finished. And, I mean, how more broken can you get than the game literally not launching at all? Now, the last few times I've tried to make a little hullabaloo about, like, I usually make a video about these kind of cases and that, and try to make a little bit of hullabaloo. But this time, I'm doing something similar to what I did with the shmup game, because I think most people who got that fixed, the shmup game that had DLC missing off the disc, I think most of the people who got that were only the ones who actually bothered to make a ticket. So I'm making a ticket. I'm going to make a ticket and I'm going to complain, and I'm either going to get a fixed copy or I'm going to get a pretty good refund, hopefully. But I'm going to get one of those two things, because I'm sick of this shit. And you should too. You should make a ticket and either demand a fixed copy or a steep refund, because this is bullshit. Like, I want Limited One games to get better. I hate how they push out so much shit and have low quality insurance and stuff. The Sonic limited edition thing that happened with its terrible quality on the statues is just another example of how low this company is just dumping shit out for money in that without actually having the passion they used to have for this stuff. I get limited, like, big box things take time. I don't really buy them. I mean, the only ones I ever really bought were the Shantae ones. And I get they take time in that. But yeah, they should be good, especially when they take it that long. It's just really pitiful. Really pitiful, the condition of this stuff for that. But anyway, I encourage you to make a ticket if you bought Bubsy and your copy is affected by this. As I say, I only know of this working on the PS5 version currently. I don't know if any other versions are affected. I can't even remember, was there even PS4 versions of this? I know there was Switch. I don't know if there was, give me a second here, I'm gonna go. Come on to the limited one account. I don't remember if there's a PS4, because they've been very up and down about making PS4 versions of stuff. Let's see. They offered Switch, PS5, Xbox, and PC. So as of right now, we know PS5 is affected. I don't know if Xbox and Switch are affected. This could be possibly a PS5 only thing. If so, that sucks even more in a way if you're a PS5 only person. But I guess it does mean less problems to fix, but still, either way, be it one version or all versions, they should fix this shit. I've bought a lot of their products over the years, and I've certainly have cut back on certain stuff. Like, I've been actually looking at some of the games and be like, if this doesn't look remotely interesting to me, I'm just passing. Because they've been oversaturating the markets and shit, and they've certainly been putting stuff that's more questionable on whether I even really care about it. I've been doing a little bit better on that regard. But I still, overall, get a lot of games for Limited One, because they still get a lot of really good titles in the lineups and that. But yeah, they should have better standards of this. Seriously, they should do like what Super Whale Games does. Like, let some other people fucking do tests on your fucking games. Like, there's literally a community I'm in, Does It Plays, that literally has people that play through these games and will actually fucking just test them if you just give them a copy. You don't have to pay them or anything. Just give them a copy and they'll actually fucking test it. But it's clear, like, over the years of controversy, Limited One either doesn't care, like, I don't know the exact reason, but they either don't care or don't want to spend the money to fix the issues they keep running into. Like, one of the reasons I only think Doom even ever got its whole situation that it did was just because it was such a high-profile game that it was, like, too much. I mean, and a lot of people probably forgot, like, when they initially said they were going to do that, they were going to charge everyone shipping. They were going to charge us to ship a good product to us and the bad product back to them. And, of course, everyone lost their mind. I certainly did. What a fucking outrageous thing. We want you to help pay some of the money to get this stuff fixed. Like, no, you're the one that fucked up. You should be covering it all. Like, you tell me your coffers are too shortchanged when you're dumping all this shit out? Like, you should either be doing a good job or being careful with your coffers for these kind of situations then. But yeah, I'll try to keep any updates on whether they're gonna fix this or anything. But I'm expecting them probably to just say, we're going to patch it and that's it. Because that's been the reply the last several times, assuming they even do fix it. That's been what they're fixing lately. I don't even know the last thing they actually reprinted since Doom even was. I don't know anything after that they have fixed physically, in a sense, in that regard, which is a shame because there's been multiple questionable things pushed out that could been better. Like I said, there's a few that are more subjective on just quality versus being broken, but when it's broken, There's no excuse when it is straight out unfinishable and broken. There's no excuse for it. No excuse at all. Anyway, but I'll update if there's anything we can possibly figure out. And with that, I'm going to leave it to Bubsy to cue us out.
What could possibly go wrong?
That's hilarious. The voice acting even carries on through the black screen. Well, that's it.